Just felt like doing a live video, but I don't actually know why I'm doing this. I've just sat in my car at football and just wanted to say hello to everybody, I guess, and maybe we'll share some things. Anybody got anything they want to talk about? Hi Kelly, hope you're well. Haven't spoke to you in a while. Seems to be a lot of change going on at the moment. Certainly in my life. I don't know about all of you guys out there, wherever you are. Hi Simon. And yeah, there just seems to be a lot of change going on at the moment for a lot of people, and the last couple of weeks seem to have been quite challenging in lots of different ways, emotionally, relationship wise. It's a little bit like we're all having the rug sort of taken from under our feet, you know, so that everything that makes us feel like we have some kind of security, which I know is just a complete illusion, but still there is this illusion that we have security in life, that we have, you know, the basic necessities are kind of taken care of. But hi Tabs, hope you're well. I've not spoke to you in a long time either. Well, if any of you guys want to ask me anything, please go ahead. I'm happy to have a discussion about anything, whatever comes up. So yeah, I think there's a lot of change happening, and at the moment I'm feeling like really insecure about what's going on. My house that I moved into, that was it is basically up on the market, and it's not my house. So I'm going to be moving again, possibly, but there's like this calm kind of feeling inside that's sort of making me trust, and it's hard to describe really. It's like it doesn't make any sense in with the logical brain, but there's a feeling inside me that's like everything's, you know, perfect as it is, even although there seems to be a lot of shifting and moving and challenges and outside turmoil, maybe is a good way to say it. And so, you know, when things are wobbly, it's quite easy to just kind of wobble with it all. You know, to lose that sense of center and groundedness, and sometimes trust as well. So yeah, I'm now in this situation where I don't know where I'm going to be moving to. I don't even know if I'll move, but the house is on the market and it's out of my control. It's not my house, so it's out of my control. And you know, we've had the sold sign up. We've now got the for sale sign up again. It's quite interesting. It's kind of like a circus, and I'm just watching it all happening, and it's quite ridiculous in a way. I think life can be very, very ridiculous when we look at what's going on and just notice that everything's just happening all the time in whichever way it needs to, and we're just like we're just perceiving everything, and you know, there's a part of us that believes that we're taking part in things, but actually, do we really have any choice? Is it all predestined? Is it all just happening with us participating and appearing to be participating in it? Hope that made sense. Don't know whether that did or not. It's like there's these appearances of comings and goings, you know, it looks like we're going somewhere, it looks like we've arrived somewhere, it looks like we've got a journey to go on, but reality, ultimate reality, there is no journey, there's just a looking inward. A 360-degree turn into our being of where we are right now, right here. And all this stuff that's going on around us is kind of just somehow it feels a bit inconsequential, like it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to read some comments. Hi Rachel, yes, wobbling like jelly, great. Yeah, well, yeah, there's a lot of challenges in life, but it's how we view them, isn't it? It's how we view them, how we deal with them, how much energy we give everything. Yeah, how we react to them or respond. You know, we can react from a place of fear and stress and untrusting, or we can respond from a place of love and trust and knowing that it's all divine, which of course it is all divine. But that doesn't mean that the human aspect of us doesn't get affected on some level. You know, at the moment I go through days of just like bliss and complete peace and real centeredness and almost like I'm just out of the experience of the human experience. And then there are days, moments, whatever you want to call it, on this continuum that where things are challenging and my emotions might get the better of me, you know, and I know, it's like I know that the ultimate reality, nothing's affecting me at the deepest core of my being, and yet there is still this human part of me that when stuff is going on around me, things trigger me, and I get sucked in to whatever that might be, just for a little while, but still getting sucked into it. It's just interesting to watch it all. It's like we're these incredible beings. We're beyond all thought, all mind. All of this that we see around us, you know, we're beyond all of that, and yet we are living in this, what can only really be described as a massive hologram that's incredibly realistic, that we can get so sucked into and so confused by, and you know, and things happen and it's like, oh, you know, we there goes the mind again. It's almost like I don't know, a dog chasing a rabbit or something. It's like we're centered, we're calm, we're, you know, present, and then something out of the blue, and all of a sudden, well, where's the center gone? Of course, we're still in our center. It just appears that we've left it. There are these appearances of comings and goings, but yeah, it's always now, we're always here. That's the reality. I'm just gonna look at your question tabs. Well, anger, people do feel anger. It's an emotion. We feel all kinds of emotions, and we seem to label all of the things that we feel in one way or another. But actually, it's waves of emotion. Who knows what we're actually feeling, really? You know, it's our mind's interpretation. It's what we've been conditioned to believe about certain feelings and reactions and all these kind of things. Anger's an interesting one because often people get frustrated with what's going on in their lives, you know, and it does bring up anger. So it's like when we're not accepting what is, that seems to trigger some anger. And when we accept what is, then we just go into a space of peace, because there really isn't anything else to you know, there's really nothing else to experience when we just allow what's happening. And by allow, I don't mean if something, you know, something life-threatening is happening, you just don't do anything. No, I don't mean that. I just mean being aware of what's happening and obviously taking action when necessary. But if we're totally present with what's happening, then the action we take is always perfect. But it's just about remaining in that space of presence that we already are and occasionally appear to be moving in and out of, but in reality we're not moving in and out of it. It's also part of the illusion. I have no idea if I'm making any sense. It kind of makes sense to me, but I don't know if it makes sense to you guys. My experience is really seeing life without the mind, without any interpretation of anything, and that is a very blissful space to be in. But then there is the reality that we're in the body, and that, you know, we have to experience this human experience. That's why we have bodies, you know, so that we can explore what this is and explore the senses and this whole creation that we find ourselves in. I am making sense, Fiji. I'm not making sense. Actually, whatever, really, you know, just take from it whatever you will. This was a bit of a random ramble. In the car. But sometimes I get inspired when I'm in my car, so I felt inspired. What else? Relationships. Yeah, that's been an interesting one recently. There's been a lot of confusion around people's ideas of who I am. And this is the thing, we project stuff onto others. We don't even realize we're doing it. You know, we see somebody, we make assumptions and we make judgments and we decide that they are a certain way, and then if they behave in a different way, it's very confusing for us because we felt that they were, you know, however we felt they were. But what's been happening to me, as well as all these changes, as well as all this kind of shaky ground happening, is people just literally just falling out of my life, like left, right and centre. So many people have gone in the last couple of months, probably won't be coming back, I guess, for one reason or another. Just felt like a time of letting go, and our energies are no longer compatible for whatever reason. And this is also, you know, an appearance of things coming and going, as I mentioned earlier, like all these divine reflections that we are for each other. We all keep calling each other into being, and we have these lessons and these experiences with each other. And often, you know, if we're really aware, we can see God in the other, you know, in our friends, in our lovers, in our family. You know, we can really see the truth of the being in front of us. But also I think this can get confusing, because when we can see, or certainly for me, and I can only speak from my experience actually, but certainly for me, I see God in others. I see this divine potential that they are, and it is so incredibly beautiful. So when they do something that's really fucking nasty, excuse my French, it's like, what? You know, it's confusing, because I just, you know, maybe I see people with rose-tinted glasses, but I don't want to see them any other way. I want to see the beauty in them. I want to see the divinity in them. And yeah, when things happen, when I get challenges, then it gets a bit confusing. And So yeah, going back to the point of, so quite a few people have gone out of my life recently, total misunderstandings, confusion in communication, in a certain way when that's not who I am, and probably never actually got to know me in actual reality. But this is the nature of life. We're all projecting all sorts, all our, you know, wants, desires, confusion, experiences, conditionings, beliefs, ideas, or so many things that are being projected onto others. And you know, we can only really, that's why all relationships are such good mirrors for what is happening within us often. And I just think it can get so confusing. People can feel, you know, they can see you as love, as I have also done, and then fall in love with you, but they don't know you. They just, it's their idea of who you are. It's not who you are. They've maybe never even spent any time with you. And I think this is the wonder of Facebook. Somebody recently deleted me off Facebook. I mean, this has been happening quite a lot actually, and it's very much to do with projections onto me and who they think I am, and if my behavior, my words, my whatever, it does not fit in with their idea of me, then there's so many challenges there for them to look at, you know. I always find it interesting because I never do these kind of things, but it seems rife. Yes, all things come to pass, of course. Okay, Owen, I don't know what you mean by that. Why did the scorpion sting the dog? I've never heard that before. Please explain. So I'll probably have to go in a minute. My son's just got back in the car, bless him. Just wondering if there's anything else that I need to share. I guess what I'm trying to say is when you come from a place of love, unconditional love, integrity, truth, sharing, and you just want to connect people and help people genuinely, as I genuinely do, and there are no motives in anything that I do, and I think people find that confusing. They, you know, and so I have attracted quite the opposite on various occasions. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to stop being who I am. By no means am I going to stop being who I am. And you know, people can make stuff up about me, they can criticize me, they can say whatever the hell they like and do whatever the hell they like, but I know that deep down within my being, who I am, what I am, why I'm here, and it's far bigger than anything that anybody could ever say to me or do to me. And the core of my being, as the core of your being, cannot be touched by those things. It just cannot be touched. We are infinite beings of light and love. And that's why I'm here, to spread love, truth, presence, light. I know this to be true. I've had lots of visions about it over the years and various experiences that have pushed me to share, at first slightly unwillingly, now more willingly. And I think, you know, it's anybody who stands in their truth is kind of is rife for having stones thrown at them for one reason or another, because the world is often filled by untruths and so much other stuff that when someone stands in their truth, it's almost a shock to people. They don't believe it. You know, when someone stands for unconditional love, it's a shock because most people have conditions on their love. They don't give love freely, they don't share freely, they don't connect freely, whatever it might be. Just going to read some more comments. Oh, I'll tell him, Tabs. Yes, people always believe what they want to believe, and thank God I'm caring less and less about what people say, think. You know, it's really, this is the strength. This is the strength that we have, is to drop what anyone anywhere thinks about us, because we know who we are, we know what we stand for, and as long as we can be truly honest with ourselves and really love ourselves, then we can be a beacon of light for others. You know, we can be a light unto ourselves. That's a powerful thing. Yes, Tabs, I'll read that again later. No, Owen, unconditional boundaries, that is a very good point. We do need to have boundaries. Yes, and I think this is where I've been tested with my boundaries. What's acceptable, what's not acceptable. I'm just going to read this last comment. Yes, Maria, that's a really good comment. I'm going to read that out loud actually, and then I'll probably have to go. I might come back later though. We still hurt even though we love so deeply, and when people see the love in you, they reach for it, and when they have reached a point where they feel well again in themselves by being touched by love, other challenges arise within them with more contradictions, and it seems so scary, then they turn away from you and it hurts us. Yes, well, this is the other thing. By being love, we show the other what love truly is, what unconditional love truly is. And as I said before, for most people that's actually a scary thing, because it's not something that we've been used to. It's not something that we've been conditioned to believe, to be, you know. Well, we've had a lot of those things conditioned out of us, you know, think for yourself, be selfish, but not in a helpful way. Love others, but love them conditionally, you know, if they do this, if they do that, if they behave this way, behave that way, if they say this, if they act this way, that way, whatever it might be. But that's not love. That's you know, that's control, possession based on fear. And yes, Owen, what you said about boundaries, we do need to set boundaries, caring, loving boundaries with ourselves and others, because, you know, we can see the love in others, and then maybe behaviors that not really acceptable, somehow we give the other leeway to behave in ways that we wouldn't actually do ourselves. And yeah, so I think there's more probably to be said about all of this, but I will need to go. But I love you all lots, and look, the sun's setting behind me, so beautiful. So have a blessed evening. Much love to you all. Much love from my heart to yours. Keep being the beautiful beings that you are. Don't let anyone tell you different. Stand in your truth. Love fearlessly. Be fierce with your love. Trust yourself. Trust God. You are a divine being, and there's nothing and nobody that can take that away from you.